Welcome everyone to my channel, Maths Cruise. We are really cruising the maths here. This is Tambari, and today we shall be looking at the topic titled Changing Subject of a Formula. Now, a formula, of course, is either an expression or an equation, but we're going to be looking at an equation used for solving mathematical problem. We know that force is given to be mass times acceleration. So in this context, we say force is the subject of the formula because it's occupying one side of the equation alone. Now, what if we are expected to make A the subject of the formula, to change the subject from F to A? In this case, we are going to divide both sides by what is holding A from being the subject, and that is M, because M is multiplying A. That's why we are dividing both sides. In that case, we have it that our A will be expressed in terms of F over N. So this is a formula you get when you make A subject of the formula. I also want us to concentrate on one particular area, the area of squares and square roots. If a variable is in a square root rather, and is equal to something, let's say it's 4. Now, one of the ways of removing the square root is by squaring both sides. Take note, in mathematics, when a variable is in the square root, you remove the square root by squaring both sides. The square root can be removed by squaring both sides. So x will be free, and we'll now have 4 raised to the power 2. So x finally becomes 4 raised to the power 2 means 4 times 4, which is 16. So that's how we apply that idea. Take note. The next idea again is to know when a variable is squared and is equal to, let's say, it's equal to 9, for instance. Now, what do you do to a variable when it's squared? If you want to remove the square power, we actually square root both sides. That's what you do. You have to square root both sides, or you square root that variable to take care of that square power. That's actually what happens. So if you check, the square root will be taking the square power away, and x will now be free to be equals to the square root of 9, which eventually gives us 3. See, that is it. Of course, square root of 9 means what number will you multiply twice that will give you 9. So that's the basic knowledge I want to share today concerning squares and square roots. If a variable is squared, you remove the variable from the square power by square rooting both sides, or square rooting the expression. It will help you destroy. Take note, that's the word we are taking out for this lesson today. But if it's in a square root, you square that expression. That will help you cancel out the square root. Take note as well. Okay, so thank you for listening. This should be our change of subject formula part 1. We should have change of subject formula part 2. So look out for that. Just check in the link in the description below. You will see more videos relating to change of subject formula. Thank you for your time and patience. This is Tambari. Remain blessed. I am out. Maths Cruise.